And today we will be making lemon shortbread. This is a really easy shortbread recipe, but it still tastes really delicious and I really like to make it. To start, you're going to put 2 cups of flour into your food processor. And you're going to add 2/3 of a cup of sugar, also into your food processor. When I did a video on what baking equipment you should have, I actually forgot to include a food processor, so you should have one of these. Then you're going to put the top on your food processor, and you're going to just pulse it to the bottom. Then you're going to take the lid off, and now you're going to take 2 sticks of butter, and I've just chopped this into tablespoon-sized pieces like this, and this is just gonna be small enough to chop in the mixer, but not too big to just blend in. So you're gonna dump that in, and then you're also going to have to grate some lemon because this is lemon shortbread. Now you can leave the lemon out, but I think it adds a really nice extra lemony zing flavor to it. So I am going to grate it. You don't need one of these. I also forgot to include this in the equipment video, but these are gloves that you wear when you're grating things. I don't need it. I've never really sliced my hand on one of these things. These microplane graters, which I also forgot to include, are also really great, but they're super sharp, and this just catches on the fabric when you do that. So I'm just going to take my grater and grate my lemon. This is a very orange lemon. You could also make this with a different fruit, like orange or grapefruit, or even lime, I guess. I've actually only ever done it with lemon, but... So you're going to want to grate about a teaspoon, which is often between 3/4 and a full one, depending on the size. This is about a teaspoon, so that's also going to go into your food processor. Then you're going to put the lid on again, and now you're going to pulse this for about a minute until the butter forms into a ball. So you'll notice here it's sort of starting to stick together around the edges, and you're almost there, but not quite. Sometimes if you sort of smack it, you can just see how it's falling down the sides. Okay, so this looks pretty good. But you can see how it's sort of sticking to the sides here. And when you bring it down, it all sort of clumps together. And that's exactly what you want. So now you're gonna take it off the food processor. Then you're going to take a 9-inch pan and a sheet of parchment paper. And since you probably don't have 9-inch cut parchment paper, you're gonna take your parchment paper, put it in the pan, line it up on one of the edges, crease along the other edge with your fingernails, sharp crease when you come out. Then you're going to fold along that crease and make sure that it all is the same side. You can replay that section if that was confusing. And then you can put it in here. You can also use an 8-inch pan, however, you're going to have to bake it for longer if you do that. Now you have to pour this into here. So I found it's probably easiest just to dump the entire thing out, including the blade, since when you try to pull the blade out with it, it sort of gets stuck. So then you can take the blade out, and see it's holding its shape a little bit when you grab it. Then you're just going to press it into the edges of the pan, nice and hard. Once you've got it flat more or less, you're going to take a fork and you're going to prick the dough all the way across. Now if when you're pricking the dough comes off with your fork, that is a sign that you didn't process it long enough in the food processor, and you probably have to go back into the food processor and do it for longer. I've done that before, don't worry. It's not gonna look super nice right now once you've pricked it, but that is not super important because it'll look better once it comes out of the oven. You can also make this recipe with, as I said, different citrus fruits. You could also do it with maple, that's really good. You can do it as just regular shortbread, that's also delicious. You could put seeds in this. There are a lot of different options for how you can make this, and I'll leave some more ideas down below. So now you're going to put this in your oven, which you should have already preheated, and you're going to cook this for 35 to 40 minutes at 325 degrees. I will be back when mine comes out. You'll know your shortbread's done when you start to see a little bit of color around the outsides. I'm not sure if you can see this right here, but that'll tell you that it's done for sure, even if you've already cooked it for all the time. So you're gonna put that off to the side to let it cool. I'll be back in a minute to cut them up. Once your dessert is cooled, you're going to take it out of your pan and place it on a cutting board. Now you can put the pan off to the side. Then you're gonna cut it into, I usually do 7 by 7, but it doesn't really matter. It depends on how big you want it. This is actually going to be 6 by 6. Now you're done. These are really delicious. I'm going to eat one. I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. Hopefully yours turned out this well, and I will see you next time.